Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel. So today's video was requested by one of my loves on Facebook. She asked me to do a more thorough, in-depth video about my running shoes. I shared on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter that when I go to the gym, I change from my different sneakers depending on what I'm doing. So if I'm going in and I do like a 3-mile run, 4-mile run, or whatever, I have my running shoes, and then when it's time to go do lifting or weight training or strength training for that matter, I will take off my running shoes and put on something that gives me a little bit more stabilization. So first, let me show you my shoes. So these are my running shoes, and these are the Mizuno Wave Inspire 9. This is what the soles look like. And these are my Nike Freeze 5.0. And these are my Nike Free Fit 2s. Alright, so in terms of like my running shoes, now when I first started running, I literally went into Foot Action and I just picked up a shoe to put on that looks cute, ran around the store in it. If it didn't feel very comfortable, then I tried something else. When I found a few that felt comfortable, I would like run in them, put on the other one, try them on 2 different feet. Like I just felt like I just knew what I was doing. But I also was not really educated on running at all. My girlfriend, Denise Zakia, suggested that I actually go and get my run evaluated, and they have running clinics. You can find them in if you live in New York, they have a store called Jack Rabbit, which is where I went. There's a location in Brooklyn, and there's like several locations in the city. If you don't live in New York, they offer running clinics in Sport Authority. They have an Elite store. The Elite store is where you can get your running evaluated, and if you don't have a Sports Authority Elite in your area, then what you could do is you probably could just Google Runners Clinic and see what comes up. So I went to Jack Rabbit, and the entire experience was really great. One, because they are thorough. Like, they told me to arrive with my shoes on. I had set up an appointment just because I was going there with my son at the time. Elle was not in the picture, and I did not want to have him and be there for very long. So I set up an appointment. They told me bring my running shoes. At the time I was running in some Reeboks that were really comfortable, and even to this day when I put them on every now and then, they still are comfortable, but I do digress. She told me to run on a treadmill. They have a camera on the treadmill, one like kind of to the back of you and one kind of in the front of you, and they evaluate your run. They look for things like your running gait, like how wide your feet are. They look for things like your running landing, like are you landing on your toes? Are you landing right in the middle? Are you landing on your heel? They look for pronation of your ankles. Are your ankles turning inward? Are your ankles turning outward? And there's probably some other things that they look for that I just don't have the knowledge about right now, but those are the basics. And when we did that, it was determined that my feet, my ankles, instead of just being straight when I run, every time I land, my ankles are going like this. So I'm running like this, which can cause injury, you know, with ongoing running, especially if you're not just running once a week, but you're running multiple times a week, or not just once, because you can get injured any run. You never know which run it will be, but I run a lot and I run very far. So just think about running 6 miles and your ankles keep going in every single time, and you're doing that like 3-4 times a week. It's just not good. At the time, I didn't know any of this information, and I've learned since then that people with flat feet tend to have ankle pronation issues. We don't have arches, and as a result, our legs, our feet, and ankles overcompensate when we strike. I was also heavy set, so I wasn't extremely light on my feet. So there are a lot of factors that go into it, but basically what they do is after they diagnose you and they identify what your problems are, they then prescribe a shoe for you. So there were several shoes that she felt would help to cure me of the ankle pronation, but they don't just say, well, here, go buy this shoe and then that's it. They do make you try on the shoes again, and when you try on the shoes, they have you run again, and then they evaluate your run again to see if the prescribed shoe actually, in fact, does help to alleviate the problem. And if it does, the second thing they want to know is, how do you feel? Because if you're not comfortable running in a shoe, even though it makes the risk of injury go down, if you're not comfortable in it, you're not going to wear the shoe. So that was important too. So we tried on about 3 different pairs, and then for me, being that I'm a lady, I wanted my shoes to look cute. So I went with this shoe that looked a little bit cuter. It had, the one that I chose as my running shoe, the Mizunos, they came in 2 colors, and I really wanted this color and it wasn't there, so I had to come back a couple days later to get it in this color because while I don't find this shoe to be the most attractive, I've grown to love them and they look super cute to me now. But as somebody who grew up in Nikes and stuff like that, this is not the style, like that urban feel that I'm used to. But I had to understand that this is not about style, this is about comfort, and this is about preventing injury. So I went with this one. It wasn't expensive either. I believe that my Reeboks that I bought at Foot Action, which were supposed to be a good running shoe, those were more expensive than these Mizunos were. I want to say that at this point, I've probably coming upon the recommended amount of mileage for you to you know, get your shoes. You're supposed to get your shoes, new shoes, after about, I think they say like anywhere no more than 500 miles. It could be 300, but I did get these shoes back before Elle was born, so I'm gonna say it was 2013, but I didn't do a lot of running in 2014. So now I would go to the gym and I would run in these, and then I would work out in these. And then somebody pointed out that it is better for me to not work out in a shoe that has an arch or has cushioning or has the raised toe, because the shoe like this for running, this helps you, you know, push off the run every time you go. But when you're doing weight training, you need to be flat so you can stabilize your core. And that was actually one of my loves on Instagram who told me that. So I had decided to go and get the Nike Freeze. Now, I had gotten the Nike Freeze prior to her having that conversation with me, but I wanted to get like a comfortable, like walking shoe. Not walking like I'm gonna go walk for exercise, but walking for leisure, because I have 2 babies and I find myself often just putting on my flat ballerina shoes, or in the summer I'll just wear, you know, flat thong slippers, and it's just not good for you. It's not good for you in terms of like your feet, and you can really hurt yourself. So I wanted to get something that would satisfy me walking around. But because I have flat feet, like sneakers aren't always that comfortable because sneakers have arches, and when you have flat feet, like arches is just something that you just don't, you can't rock with the arches. So it doesn't matter what kind of cushioning you put in them, like it just doesn't work. So I went into Foot Locker and I tried on all of the Nike style shoes like this. This is the Freeze 5.0 and this is the trainers, like I told you. And I tried on so many different ones, and even though they all kind of had like a flat effect, when I would put them on, I could immediately feel if there was an arch in them or not. And these two were the 2 that had like the least amount of arch for me, and you can see like they're damn near flat, and they were the most comfortable. So I said, you know what, after that, after one of my loves on Instagram made that recommendation, I'm going to wear these to the gym to work out. So I wear this a lot more than I do this one. I'm not sure why it is, but I just like these. These are a little bit more comfortable than these. Both of these were on sale at Foot Locker, by the way, so I ended up getting both of these pairs for less than $80 because they were on a super sale. I believe these were only $29. But anyway, I wear these a lot more often and they're really flat. And so, like I said in the beginning of the video, you want to wear a flat shoe to stabilize your body when you're doing a workout that requires heavy lifting. And I don't just mean like you're grabbing some dumbbells and you're just going like this. If you're just doing that, do you need to switch out of your running shoe into a flat shoe? Probably not. You don't need to make it such a big deal, but have the education so that in the event that you do increase what you're doing in the gym, you are aware, at some point I need to change this because now I'm just not doing 5-pound dumbbells. I'm deadlifting, I'm doing bar lifts, I'm doing shoulder press, I'm doing, you know, snatches. And when you start doing those things, your body needs to be flat, your core needs to be stabilized. That's when you hold your belly in really tight. And I will stand with my shoulder width apart and I'll grab the barbell, I'll pick it up from here, bring it up, and then I do a good shoulder press. And you could do like a clean and press. And I do deadlifts where I grab the bar from the bottom and I pull them all the way, I pull it up and pull my body up. So I can deadlift now about 135 pounds. I can do a shoulder press. I've never gone above 40 because I'm doing 4 sets of 10. But I'm sure if I just needed to complete one, I probably could do a shoulder press of maybe 80 pounds. I'm just saying. And I do, you know, I do catch and snatches. I do kettlebell swings. I do bicep curls and shoulder presses, but I do my heavy set with 20s. I do squats. That's another thing. Squats and lunges, you need to be flat to be stabilized. If your shoe has cushion or whatever, like a cushiony heel like this one, your heels are raised, which is not the way you need to be when you're doing a squat. And when you come back up, if your toes bend like this because the shoes have a bendable raised toe, you're not stabilized, which can also cause injury to your back, to your legs. So when you're doing your squat, you want your feet firm, flat on the ground, drop that butt low, come back up. Same thing for your lunges and any other type of like floor work that you're doing. So I feel like I talked super fast. I wanted to get everything in like as fast as I could so the video wouldn't be like 30 minutes. And I hope I answered your question. Now, I'm not a personal trainer. I am not like a physical therapist. I'm not a doctor. So I do want you to understand that the information that I've given you today is 100% self-taught through my experiences and through conversation. I experienced Jackrabbit, but I don't work at Jackrabbit. You know, I experienced the conversations that I've had with people about being flat and stabilized, and I've reaped the benefits of them. And I don't want to mislead you or misguide you. So please, before you go doing anything crazy, consult with somebody who's a professional. At some point, maybe I will not have to have a disclaimer, but I just want everybody to be safe and I don't want nobody to get hurt. So please let me know if you have any more questions. I tell you guys, ask me questions because not only can I reply in the comment section, but sometimes it will inspire me to actually make a video that you can use and you can refer to and you can get more information, especially when I talk about things on Instagram. I mean, I try to be thorough on Instagram, but who wants to read like a 2-page caption on Instagram? So it's not always the best place for it. Whereas a video like this, I can get the information out to you. So please let me know if you have any questions. Leave them below, all right? Subscribe to my channel, and as always, I love you for watching.
Behinds grabbing the wrong, catch up where buttons against me can't prosper. Armor of God is much stronger than the army of y'all. I'm ready for war. After that, I'm ready to ball, and after that.